You want one of these?
What are they?
Lighters. I don't know how I've kept accumulating those. I just looked behind all this recently and I had a fuck ton of lighters there. We're getting glass today.
Glassed, baby.
Glass, baby. Dun, dun. Like a baby's head on the sidewalk, we are gonna bounce.
Jesus.
So, we watched Unbreakable last night. That was your first viewing, correct?
Yes.
What was your thought?
It was good. It was kind of slow, but it was good because I think it would have taken away from the storytelling if it was like just like straight action shit.
It's certainly slow in a lot of parts, but I feel like that's the entire point.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's supposed to be a dramatic retelling of a superhero origin story. You know, not an action-based one, but more about a superhero searching for a sense of identity. It does that really well, like with a great performance from Bruce Willis and just a lot of atmosphere. Not always as intense as it could be. What I realized watching Unbreakable and watching it around the same time as Split and Signs is that M. Night Shyamalan's style of film, a lot of people call him a horror filmmaker. In reality, he's more of a dramatic filmmaker, and he incorporates elements of horror into his works. Both Split and Unbreakable are character studies against the backdrop of
a comic book film in a very loose sense of the term.
Yeah, it's an M. Night Shyamalan film done as a love letter to comic book culture.
Yeah, I think it's done really, really well.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it definitely has one of Bruce Willis's finest performances.
Oh, absolutely.
The best skills of Bruce Willis are either when he's playing an action hero or when he's doing a type of subtle acting, and that's what really comes out of him on Unbreakable. It's the same subtle acting he brought into Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything over the top, except for a couple of parts in Pulp Fiction, but he doesn't go crazy or anything.
Yeah.
You know?
He doesn't play to his action hero persona, nor does he reach outside his range. He limits himself and he plays it well.
It's a very subtle character, David Dunn.
So we agree Unbreakable is a good film. Now Split. Now, that was my first time watching Split. What was your opinion? Because you'd seen it before.
I like it. James McAvoy playing, what, 6 different characters? 6 very, very different characters.
Yeah, that's a hell of a challenge for him, and he does it so naturally.
Yeah. Obviously, it was meant to set up the third one. It doesn't really bring anything to the legacy of David Dunn or Mr. Glass.
It's not supposed to, because it's a secretive sequel.
Yeah, it's meant to be a setup to Glass.
Yeah.
They've done well.
They have David done well. Were you gonna smack me?
Yeah.
Wait till we're at a red light.
Yeah.
Both films were all hypes. They were prequels in a sense. Now, Unbreakable, it was always building up to something, and then a climax didn't really happen.
Yeah.
The climax was like the twist, which happened in the last few seconds, and then the movie ends with just text on the screen saying what happens next. And with Split, it was all leading up to this intense climax, which was kind of underwhelming.
Fizzled out a bit.
Yeah.
The girl, Casey's gonna be in Glass.
So I hear,
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see what happens. A lot of people have been saying that the climax in Glass is a letdown, and I'm guessing that could be because of the fact that you had 2 films that were basically leading up to something, and maybe the climax wasn't that great. But
at least it's consistent in the letdown with the climax.
Yeah. If we go in with the expectation that the climax will be a letdown, and that the film will be building up to something but doesn't reach its full potential, then maybe we won't be as disappointed. I'll just be keen to see the actors back in form again.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying that James McAvoy is the standout lead actor, followed by Samuel L. Jackson. I tried to find some reviews on Bruce Willis' performance, and I couldn't really find anything distinctive. I haven't seen any reviews saying that he's bad, but after seeing his performance in Death Wish, I'm a little ambivalent. Now, he is returning to one of, if not his best, non-Die Hard character.
Yeah.
There is still hope to be had. I'm just hoping that his passion hasn't burnt out, because Death Wish certainly suggested that years of being on the direct-to-video circuit has diminished his passion, the same way the passion for casting Bruce Willis in a decent movie has been diminished.
Was Death Wish direct-to-video?
No. It was just very direct-to-video standard.
Oh, right.
Maybe slightly higher production values, but for an Eli Roth-Bruce Willis collaboration, it was neither as compelling nor action-packed and violent as you'd hope.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So that was a big letdown. Let's hope Glass isn't the same thing. Let's go see what we can find at Cash Converters.
Gang, gang.
We'll be back. 2 Pop Funko vinyls, Terrence and Phillip. You know what I was thinking earlier? So you know how there's 3 main characters in the Unbreakable trilogy?
Yeah.
There's 3 of us, you, me, and Jaden. So I reckon if
Jaden's automatically Glass.
Of course he's Glass. But not just because of that, but also because of the fact that Jaden is the most frequently sick of any of us, and he doesn't come out of the house or do shit. He's always stuck at home, stuck in his own pop culture and video games and shit. Plus, if Jaden turned out to be a villain, that'd be a huge fucking shock, so...
Yeah, he's the root of any bad shit that's ever happened to us.
Yeah. So I reckon you're David Dunn, Bruce Willis, because you're pumping it it out at the gym, always trying to get stronger.
Yeah.
By process of elimination, I'm gonna say that makes me James McAvoy.
Because you're a crazy son of a bitch.
You know what? I think we can put my unpredictability to that time we went to see Pacific Rim Uprising, where out of the blue, the beast came out.
This cunt stole my shit.
So that's a story I need to tell the camera. We went to see Pacific Rim Uprising, and we put our stuff down. Then I stepped away to go to the bathroom just before the film started. When I came back, all my stuff was missing, and I knew the boys had decided to hide my shit and put it somewhere.
Like he'd never done that to us in the past.
Oh, we always do it to each other. And I was like, all right, come on, give me back my stuff. My bag was there, but I was like, I couldn't find my popcorn or my Coke or whatever. And I was like, all right, give it back. And you guys were like, it's in your bag. I'm like, guys, I know it's not in my bag. And you're like, yeah, it's in your bag. And I was like, guys, please just give it back to me. You're like, it's in your bag. I look at my bag, it's not in there. I'm like, guys, give me back my stuff. And they're like, we don't know where it is. And I was like, do you want me to make a scene? Because you know I will make a scene. And they're all just like, we don't know what it is. So straight away, I look up at the crowd and I shout at the top of my voice, oi, these cunts won't give me back my stuff. And straight away, you guys are cringing and blocking your faces with your hands. And everyone's giving me a weird fucking look. And I just could not care less. I absolutely snapped. And I spent the rest of the night trying to comprehend how I snapped like that. Because that was so fucking weird of me.
And then he fucking took his shoes off.
The Hoyts dude came up to me and asked me to settle down. And I said to him, yes, I'm sorry. Then I took my shoes off later and he came up to me and asked me to put my shoes back on. Then he snapped a photo of me and he wasn't even subtle with his flash. So I looked at him and went, no, that was weird. That was a sign of some associative disorder type shit. So I think by that rationale, I'd be the villain in this story.
True that though.
Unpredictable, always changing personalities. 1 minute Harry J. Wall, another minute Angus Crowley.
Mr. Crowley!
So I guess we're off to see a film about
Harry spazzing it out at the fucking cinemas.
Yeah, it still befuddles me what came over me that day. If that wasn't some supernatural shit, I don't know what is. That's a dark time, so this is some confessions on camera type shit.
Yeah.
That's my equivalent of Liam Neeson's story about trying to take down some dark-skinned person, I guess.
Fucked.
That is fucked. But that's something to talk about, actually. You don't think Liam Neeson's a racist, do you?
No, I think his reaction was inappropriate.
Absolutely his reaction was inappropriate. But the whole reason he told that story was so we could discuss the fact that his reaction was inappropriate. And he was trying to outline the fact that he made a dumb decision and went out and sought help for it.
Yeah.
But of course, the only part of his story that the media outlets are going to focus on is the fact that the perpetrator he was hunting for was African American and that he wanted to find some quote-unquote black bastard. Yeah. And you said to me yesterday that's already being misreported. It's him saying the N-word.
One of the articles I saw about it, he was quoted as saying he wanted to find some black N-word. So
the media is putting a ridiculous spin on it. Even Whoopi Goldberg spoke out about it, saying she's known him for a long time, she knows what bigots are, and Liam Neeson does not want.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah. If this ends up affecting Liam Neeson's career, I'm going to be so fucking infuriated. I definitely don't agree with his train of thought, but let's be honest, we've all had a train of thought before where we've wanted to angrily take someone down. Maybe not to the point where we're focusing on
a specific race.
Yeah.
More of a single person rather than a...
Exactly. But I think the reaction to Liam Neeson's comments has been ridiculous. Given that it was a personal confession, he was talking about how he regretted having that thought, and in the end he didn't do anything violent. I mean, I will say at the same time, obviously, not being a person of colour, I can't judge based on that rationale.
No.
I'm keen to see Cop Pursuit though. Critics are saying it's Liam Neeson's best action film in ages. Because I can't remember the last one of his I actually liked, aside from Taken.
The last couple he's done, The Commuter and Non-Stop, is the same shit.
Run All Night was okay, but he's managed to stay in the blockbuster limelight ever since 2008 now, ever since Taken.
Yeah. So how you feeling? 4 hours post-gym.
Fuck. Well, my first gym hit since I was in Philadelphia, and even then that was more cardio-based. This is all muscular. I'm certainly feeling better. The endorphins are still kicking. I'm still feeling some of the strain, but I certainly don't have that puking sensation anymore.
Nah, fair cop though, fair cop. It's a bit of a workout what I do.
It's a solid one. You don't overdo yourself, but you've got a good level.
Yeah.
What are you fucking honking at? You clearly saw me coming in. Fucking angry geriatric bald cunt.
The beast is coming out again, baby.
Yellow boys on your team, so you're losing. Hey, yo, Dre, stick to producing. Calling me Arnold, what? You Benedict. Easy E, so your ass went in it quick. I do not like paying money for parking. I do not like parking in shopping centers. I inherit that from Big Dave. No, I was actually thinking about something the other day. Based on the Unbreakable ideology that some characters can have a certain degree of superpowers based on certain attributes of theirs.
Yeah.
If you were to have a superpower based on certain skills that you've got, what do you reckon it would be? Like for me, I'd be able to be extrasensory and be able to detect shit. Because, you know, I'm always able to find like discounts and free shit. I'm like the gatherer.
Yeah, I think mine would be like a superior knowledge type deal. I'm always reading and shit. So I think just the ability to fucking like know things, even like before they happen and shit, you know?
So you'd be like a human encyclopedia.
Yeah, within that, I'd have like the knowledge of like how to like fight karate and shit, how to defuse bombs. Have you seen Chuck, the TV show?
Never seen it, but I know of it.
Oh, the premise is he had this like data scanned into his brain and it could access skills. I could read a karate manual or read a bomb disposal manual and I'd just know how to do it.
So yeah, your ability would be the superpower to metamorphosize any ability that you've read about.
Yeah, doesn't mean I could like read how to fly and then be able to fly. Like abilities that are within sort of a natural human abilities.
Well, we'll expand upon our superhero identity discussion later on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Gang.
I was trying to get the fucking camera. How does this happen? How?
Because you're a dumb cunt, that's why.
You're not wrong. Glass, thoughts?
It was good, I enjoyed it. It could have been a good wrap up to the trilogy.
I feel like it was a semi-decent wrap-up to the trilogy.
Yeah.
Not the climax it could have been, but nonetheless...
Not as bad as it could have been either.
Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are saying. I don't
Yeah.
think it's anything great. Then again, I don't necessarily think Split nor Unbreakable were particularly great. I mean, I really enjoyed Unbreakable and Split was okay. Both better than Glass.
Like, massive spoiler warning.
The time flashing on the screen, cut to there to avoid spoilers.
Could have been good. It could have ended the exact same way it did, with David dying, Horde getting killed, Elijah dying. But they didn't need to fucking put in like the fucking secret fucking superhero prevention society, fucking Clover Society, whatever the fuck they're called.
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
If David had have died an honourable hero's death, like he sacrificed himself rather than just getting killed by this ham-fisted plot twist that M. Night Shyamalan fucking stuck in there.
It could have ended exactly the same way. In the fight in the water tank, David obviously drowns because his weakness is water.
Yeah.
And then Horde gets fucking beaten to death by David because he's never encountered such a fucking hectically strong dude that can do so much damage to him.
And then they could have followed through with the superhero arc of David Dunn giving a final speech before he dies in his son's arms, rather than being drowned by some fucking plot twist.
Yeah, I mean, they could have released the fucking video online that Mr. Glass did and everything. Like, they could have kept that exactly the same.
If you've just cut to this point, we're not going to spoil anything more in the film. We'll just simply say there's a couple of plot twists in the film. There is one specific plot twist which very likely will piss you off because it definitely annoyed us both. And if you cut that out of the final cut of the movie, you can have a much better film.
Do what those dudes did with fucking The Last Jedi and make a fucking fan cut cutting that out.
That's a good idea. In terms of acting, now what I said earlier about being concerned about Bruce Willis, he was fine.
Yeah.
Like, the film doesn't focus on him much because it's more the story of Samuel L. Jackson's character, Elijah Price / Mr. Glass. So he gets the majority of the screen time, followed by the Beast / Horde / Patricia / fucking
Crumb.
Huey Lewis in the News, whatever his name is.
Kevin Crumb.
Yeah. Then Bruce Willis. So he doesn't get too much material to go into the psyche of his character, but his story was unbreakable. And he did well in that, he did well in this, and I'm perfectly content with Bruce Willis's performance. I think he was solid, and I think he still got it.
All of the acting was solid. Doesn't need to do anything more to it because the characters are already good.
Yeah.
And the little bit of character development they had with Horde was good.
Yeah.
Specifically the details you get from the end about Mr. Glass, what Joseph reveals. A little bit of good character development. I
honestly liked James McAvoy's performance more in this one than in Split, because in Split you were just discovering who he is. In this one they delve into him a bit more as the story progresses.
Yeah.
So it continues to be a character study. What I found with this film is that the first two movies, Unbreakable and Split, they relied on mystery. They relied on you waiting till the end to discover everything about the story. In Glass there wasn't much new to discover, so that element is gone. It's more about pitting the narratives together, having them cross, and seeing what happens from there.
These three vastly different characters, worlds collide.
Exactly. It's a collision course narrative as opposed to an origin story this time. So that element of the narrative is gone. Now, the typical narrative that M. Night Shyamalan put into both Split and Unbreakable, where it was an origin story, where you discover everything about these characters, they learn a bunch as they go on, and they end up being essentially prequels to this movie. Glass follows very much a similar style. It's not a prequel, but it does follow the same sort of slow pace, character study, slow moving story. If you're expecting an action movie that's all about a clash of these titans, you're not going to get it.
No.
And I think maybe a few people are disappointed by that. But if you watch Unbreakable and Split and understand that they are both meant to be character studies and come into Glass expecting much of the same, I think you'll be a lot less disappointed. I found the movie half decent, at least.
Yeah, it was not a bad movie at all. And what people have been saying, or critics have been saying, that it's a good film, it's an enjoyable hour and a half, 2 hours of worth of film.
Yeah, I don't think it's an underwhelming climax. I think there's some narrative points that should have been changed. Nonetheless, as a whole, it was an effective story, great performances, strong production values, good cinematography. It was a decent movie. It was a well-made movie, a story that could have been fixed in parts, but a well-made film.
Yeah. the bad parts don't make it a bad film. It just didn't make it as good as a film it could have been.
Yeah, the bad parts of the film mostly come into play at the end. They don't negate the rest of the narrative.
Right.
They don't ruin the rest of the story, because the rest of the story is perfectly solid. And on that note, let's go eat some rice.
Chica.
Yeah. Let's
What
make...
is that?
I don't know. Take two. Let's make like James McAvoy and Split.
Oh, you bad. You idiot.
Are you Jewish now?
Well, according to my tattoo, yeah.
Take three. Let's not make like Princess Diana and get out of this car before something bad happens. That's where we're going to end it.